But our top focus, separatist elements backed by the Hurriyat conference are indulging in brazen provocation in the valley. After waving Pakistani flags, several people were seen waving the ISIS flag in Srinagar. This is the third such instance of ISIS flags being waved in the valley in a bid to needle India. Today's incident may once again have a Hurriyat link. The supporters of Hurriyat leader Mirwaiz Umar Farooq pelted stones and clashed with the police while the separatist was offering prayers. Now, during this entire situation, some men with their faces covered displayed the black ISIS flag. In another similar incident in Kupwara, Pakistani flags were on display in a rally of Shabir Shah. The hardline faction of the Hurriyat, led by Saeed Ali Shah Gilani and Masrat Alam, had also waved Pakistani flags earlier. The latest incident was reported from the Jamia Masjid area of Srinagar. After Friday prayers, the pro-separatist protesters assembled at the Nauhata Chowk and clashed with security personnel. Shuja Al-Haq now joins you in the phone line. Shuja, first, we only saw these flags this afternoon in Srinagar. Now they're also extending to Kupwara, we believe. Alright, there seems to be an audio problem there with our correspondence line in Srinagar. We'll try and reconnect with Shuja Al-Haq in a moment from now. But on your screens, you see those men who've covered their faces. They're waving ISIS flags. Initially, there were only Pakistani flags that were being waved in the valley after Friday prayers. Now, this was happening while Mirwaiz was attending Friday prayers. What we're also being told as we speak is that another similar incident has emerged in Kupwara. Joining me on the phone line is Shuja once again. Shuja, a similar incident now in Kupwara, we hear.
Well, right, these are two different incidents. You know, as you were pointing out, one that happened in Srinagar, in which some ISIS flag were witnessed right outside Jamia Masjid mosque. Mirwaiz Umar Farooq does lead the prayers there, and it is not unusual that protests happen immediately after the prayers in the area. But as of now, we don't exactly know whether they were Mirwaiz Umar Farooq's people or members of his party, but this much is clear, which is very visible in the visuals as well. Some youth were holding ISIS flags. Remember, this is not the first time. Earlier also these flags were seen in Srinagar, but the police had dismissed them, saying that this is an act by some misguided youth. A couple of people were arrested also, but later on they were released in this entire matter. Police had said that there's nothing that one needs to take in terms of seriousness, and there is no danger whatsoever of any ISIS spread or any such eventuality in Jammu and Kashmir.
But Shuja, given it's the third time that we're seeing ISIS flags being waved in the valley, can the police really turn its head the other way?
Well, that's what my point was. That's where I was coming.
Yes.
Now it will be very interesting to see whether the police can continue with that argument of saying that these are some misguided youth, and nothing seems to be needs to be taken in terms of seriousness from the security point of view. It will be very important to see what action the police would initiate in this particular matter. And talking about the second incident, this is a purely political incident in which Shabir Shah, the separatist leader, was there in Kupwara. He had to attend a rally, and we're getting reports that there were Pakistani flags in that rally as well. And this also is not the first time. In fact, Shabir Shah himself was earlier involved in a similar incident in Anantnag town, where Pakistani flags were waved in his rally. These flags incidents seem to be increasing every day in Kashmir, and it is only started from the day when there was a lot of hue and cry on the instance of Masrat Alam being seen in a rally chanting slogans, and there were Pakistani flags. It looks like as if people are deliberately trying to wave these flags and trying to send some sort of a message across, to point out that, look, here we are with these flags, let's see what you can do.
Also, Shuja, could this be seen as a clear lead up to Gilani's conclave, anti-India conclave on Sunday?
Well, you know, as far as Gilani's conclave is concerned, in fact, this morning also there was a news report. The party, Gilani's party itself, said that most of their leaders have been put under house arrest. Saeed Ali Shah Gilani is under house arrest. Many of their workers have been detained. So far, the police hasn't said whether they want to allow this seminar, or whether there will be any permission that will be granted, or there will be a clampdown on them. But looking from what the police and the party has itself been saying, that most of their leaders are under house arrest, we don't really know whether that conclave will happen. But yes, the PDP, BJP government hasn't come out clearly and in terms of whether they want to allow these activities to happen. This is not the first time that seminars are happening, but there is a conflict between the two political parties. While PDP seems to be of the view that there should be some space that should be given to the separatists as well to continue their activities in a democratic manner, the BJP, which is the alliance partner, seems very harsh towards it. We've seen how BJP leaders have reacted to all of these issues, in terms of be it the Pakistani flags issue, or the seminars that are being held by or proposed by the Hurriyat Conference's Gilani faction.
Shuja, we'll keep coming back to you for more. Thanks for bringing us up to speed with the latest in the valley. You can see those ISIS flags that were being waved in Srinagar, and simultaneously, even in Kupwara, there were Pakistani flags being waved. The big question is, who will rein in the separatists who seem to be having a free run and free will in the valley?